Fantastic. Here we go. I think that is live. Okay, we are live. We are live. So, hi everyone, and welcome to this super special lunchtime little interview that we have with our very gorgeous member in the spotlight, Daria. Woohoo! Very warm welcome, Daria.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Tonya. Thanks for having me. It's really appreciated.
And we just love you, and I'm often in your group, and I know that you are just incredible at what you do, so dedicated, and you have such like gorgeous, amazing energy. And
thank you.
You're amazing, and you're so committed to doing and learning and sharing all that you do, and I think it's absolutely fabulous. So for everyone here, could you tell us what it is that you actually do, first of all?
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'm actually an emotional freedom expert, and I work with soul-aligned clients, soul-aligned entrepreneurs who just still can't shut that inner critic in their mind, and just don't live their life on purpose, but live it on autopilot, because from, let's say, up to 95%, actually, they actually go through their day without even realizing what they did in the morning, so it's just, they are so busy, so hectic life, that, and yet again, they don't live their life the way they would love to, because they are so busy with that inner critic, telling them, you have to do this, you didn't do it right, you have to do it again, you have to do it a different way. So it's very exhausting for them. So so I actually work with them through energy psychology work, and help them clear, those limiting beliefs, negative emotions, and shut that inner critic finally.
Oh, and that is so needed, because there is this sort of constant looping thoughts, isn't there? There's this constant referring back to these old beliefs that don't serve us, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And most of people, they are not even aware of those limiting beliefs, those negative thoughts, because it's how they grew up. Maybe those beliefs, they brought them from their childhood. And this is something what is doable to just clear it, and to deal with it in the most beautiful way, that they actually start reframing and perceiving the world from different perspective, and with the different eyes, actually.
Yeah, that's amazing. And do you do tapping?
I do meridian tapping, yeah, also known as an emotional freedom technique, EFT. And
Okay.
I'm an NLP practitioner as well, yeah.
Okay, so you bring all of that into the work that you
Yes,
offer up to your clients. That's
yes,
amazing.
absolutely. When I work with the client, first what we do, we actually first clear those 5 most common, negative emotions, like anger, guilt, shame, sadness, and then we actually start digging deeper. Excuse my English today. Yeah,
It's
digging
fantastic,
deeper.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I was on the call before, so it was quite busy. So as well, you see that in the chat, like, look at your English. Yeah. So yeah, and then we actually dig deeper into those limiting beliefs. Once we clear those negative emotions, those 5 most common negative emotions, then we start clearing those limiting beliefs, reframing them, and actually helping to see what actually they look at every single day, and maybe they can't see it, or they can see it in the negative way, right? Instead of appreciating and being grateful for what they have in their life. So they feel like they didn't do enough, they are not enough, they are not lovable, they don't deserve. And this is all what comes from years and years ago, at the time when it was supposed to actually keep them safe,
Yeah.
right? Just to keep them safe, because let's say when 2 years old child will touch the hob, obviously it will burn, the fingers. So that subconscious actually learning, it will show them, it will tell them, just don't touch it. So actually straight away, immediately, the brain will learn, don't touch it, right? and the child doesn't have to think about it. And this is the same with phobias, with all those limiting beliefs, because the child may be observing parents arguing about money. So that little child learns, right, so money is not good, because if you have money, you just argue about it.
Yeah.
Or they drop ice cream when they are 3 years old, walking with their mommy, and they drop the ice cream, and they are not allowed to get another one because whatever reason, because they are busy or mommy didn't have enough money on her. And that little brain straight away makes a conclusion, right, so I don't deserve it, right? Or I'm not loved because my mommy doesn't love me because she didn't get me another ice cream. And these are actually subconscious limiting beliefs that just piles one upon another until we grow up, and then we have got that horrible baggage of limiting beliefs and crazy negative emotions that we learn actually throughout the life. And still carry on learning. In the adulthood.
Oh, it's such deeply fascinating work, isn't it? To
it is.
Go in and unpick and unravel all of these beliefs that really were never ours. They were, passed down inadvertently, and we made them our own. We made them our identity, and then we run with it, don't we? We run with this identity, and we try and navigate life with all of these kind of all the chatter and the negative.
Exactly, because this morning actually I was tapping in my group on releasing anxiety, right? Because I have got so many requests just last week, so many requests to just show my members how to tap on releasing anxiety, because they are getting really worried and afraid what's going on, because this situation in the world, it lasts for such a long time, and people are struggling. And there is a couple of members who say they feel anxious for what they can remember their life for how many years, right? So it's exactly as you said, and it started somewhere, and it wasn't even their fear of failure, fear of even success, fear of being not good enough. And they just pick that limiting belief, and it affects so many years and decades of their life. So when we start working on it, sometimes it can be a little bit scary for the client, because they realize actually, oh, but I don't know who I am actually without that anxiety, because I've got it for so many years, so many decades. I don't know, who am I actually? Who am I? Because I know I'm that anxious person, or I am that person with anxiety. But if I let it go, who am I actually? So we then work really beautifully, with meditation and with other different modalities on embracing who I am exactly as I am, with all my pores and flaws and spots, and so we not only clear those negative emotion and limiting beliefs, but we also add into that beautiful space we've created in our bodies. So we actually embed new beautiful beliefs, positive beliefs, and really positive emotions. And then we learn how to embrace them every single day with gratitude, with morning and night routine. Because as I said, these, my clients are usually so busy that they don't even think about routines, routines to just get into the calm state before they go to sleep. And then they have, let's say, the sleep, which is not good because it's not really in the theta waves, it's not deep enough. So they are still in that kind of thinking what I have to do tomorrow, and they dream even about work. So it's really crazy. So this is actually to calm the mind before they go to sleep. And in the morning, actually to wake up with the intention for the day, to spend it in the most beautiful way. And this sounds like something very simple. Yet if you don't do it, your life is just like rushing and hustling and struggling.
So needed, especially I think in this time when we're so online and there's so much kind of whirring information, so much blue light energy is hard for us to kind of disengage, isn't it?
Exactly, absolutely. And that's why, the part of my nighttime routine, which I teach, is an hour before you go to bed. And obviously put the, bedtime at the same time every night. And an hour before you go to bed, just switch all electronic devices and do whatever you love to do. Talk to your loved ones, or read a book, or just meditate, or whatever just makes you feel good. Because, at these times, the phone is first thing we actually take into our hand before we even speak to our loved ones in the morning. And the last thing we put on the bedside table before we go to sleep. Right. So this is something we get so addicted. I would say, it's an addiction, and a lot of teenagers actually these days have this problem. Then punishing them, to taking a device out of them, their mobile phone, from them, if they don't do something they were supposed to do, it can cause such a crazy anxiety. That this is what actually we work on as well, right? To just teach those entrepreneurs how to work with their children, with their teenagers, because as we know now, and I always say, if I knew what I know now 30 years ago, it would be totally different. It's not to regret it. It's to actually teach this to people, as you said, to teach it people to do not make those mistakes again, as we did, because we had no idea about what we did wrong, and about, telling our child that they did something wrong, that we maybe created some limiting belief about them, that we don't love them, that they don't deserve something because we didn't give it to them. So I always say, what I know now, that's why it's my huge passion to just pass it on other people. Because it's not necessary to just bring up children into adulthood in the state that they are not good enough, and in the state that they let other people and outside circumstances to affect their life so much, without actually realizing that we have got a choice how we feel, how we want to feel, right? We don't have to be so anxious. We don't have to be depressed. Not only because someone told us, the GP, that's depression, right? And once you get the diagnosis, then it just walks with you for the rest of your life. No, it doesn't have to be like this.
Oh, you are so right. I resonate with every single word that you say, Daria. It's just amazing. And what brought you to this point? Because I know that it's been a long journey for you. What kind of started you on this road?
Oh, yeah. Well, I would say what started this journey was when I was diagnosed with autoimmune condition. It was about 10 years ago now. And I actually had the symptoms that I wasn't sure what was it. And I was at that state, right, like rushing, doing a lot of things. And I was always very active and always busy. And then all of a sudden I started feeling very tired. I could sleep 16 hours and it wouldn't be enough, right? My hair started falling, and I started putting weight on, even though I couldn't be bothered to eat, how tired I was. I just couldn't go into the kitchen and eat something. And never mind, I started putting weight on. So I was thinking something is not right here, something is going on. So then I went to the doctor, and so they ran the blood test. And I can remember the doctor told me, within a week, just ring us for a result. And a day after, I got a call from GP saying, Mrs. Ottens, we need you just to come to see your doctor. So you can imagine what was going on in my mind, like, oh my God, do I have cancer? And what's going on, So, and the doctor actually, she told me that they found out that I have got Hashimoto's disease, right? I've never heard about this disease before. So I was like, what is it? What was the cause? And what's going to happen now? What are we going to do with it? How are we going to cure it? And the doctor said, it's incurable. We can't cure it. We just, and we don't know any cause actually either. So we are just going to give you medication, and you are going to have the lifetime medication for rest of your life, and that's only what we can do. And exactly as you said when we were talking, last week, it didn't sit with me. So I was like, lifetime medication for me. I don't even take paracetamol, so it really didn't sit with me. So obviously after first shock, when tears, flooding by my, on my cheeks when I was leaving that surgery, then I started researching. I started looking for cause and for what I can do, how I can help myself. And I even found out that there is a natural replacement, that I don't have to be on that medication, all those chemicals putting into my body, that I really dislike straight away that idea, to do it. So I started actually taking this natural replacement for that medication I got, and I started feeling better, right? And then it was about 2016 when I, enrolled into personal development program, because I started learning about what it cost actually. Because if something is happening about your throat, it's about around your throat chakra. It's usually when you are not capable to speak your truth.
Yeah.
And I was the one. I didn't like argument, because I grew up in the violent family. So I didn't like argument. So anything what happened and I didn't like it, I wouldn't say it, right? I would rather keep quiet and don't make it even worse, right? If somebody raised voice around me, it's really like, I felt really like in my throat.
Yeah.
So I started learning actually how body and mind is connected and how one affects other.
Yeah.
And I got amazed, and I thought like, wow, this is really crazy. So I want to learn more. And throughout this program, actually, there was one module when the lady actually showed demo of EFT, right? And we were tapping on money limiting beliefs, right? It was a module on limiting beliefs about money. So we were tapping, and I thought like, it didn't sit with me at that time somehow. Yet, as you know about our reticular activator, once you start focusing on something, you start just attracting it. Ever since, I saw EFT everywhere on YouTube. Once I went on YouTube, there was EFT. When I went somewhere else, there was something about EFT. Somewhere else, something about EFT. And I thought like, okay, so what is it then about this EFT? It seems like I need to know. That's why it keeps showing up. So I started, learning with YouTube only. And then I went to the session, live session. It's supposed to be like an intro session about EFT, because I was curious. I thought like, okay, let's learn something about it.
Yeah.
Yet, as the universe works, it actually happened that that group session, was in the morning after that O2 terrorist attack in Manchester, because I'm outside of Manchester. And I didn't know about the terrorist attack, nothing, because I don't watch television and I don't check news, because I always say, if I want to get depressed, I will watch news, right? Because we know what we can see there. So I went there, I went to Manchester, and I was like surprised, because, there were helicopters just, on the sky, and even soldiers with guns, on the streets. And I thought like, oh, maybe it's some exercise, something they are just, and I wasn't scared. I thought like, maybe some exercise. And and then I got, I sat on the tram and I went to that session, and there was nobody there. And I thought like, that's strange. What's going on here? And then the lady arrived, actually, who was running that session. And she said, I wasn't sure if to come, because I got a lot of messages like people didn't come because of that, what happened in O2. I said like, what happened in O2? I don't know what happened. So she told me. So it actually ended up that instead of a group intro session, it happened like it was one-to-one session. And when we worked on my limiting beliefs around money, right? Because the lady said, okay, so if you want to, to show you what it is, what EFT is, how it works, what would you like to work on? And I thought like, I don't know, I didn't think about it. And I said like, okay. And it came about my relationship with my mother, right? Because I was always wondering why it was the way it was, because we weren't very close.
Mhm.
And I thought like I did my best all my life as as the eldest girl from 7 siblings. I was always the one who was looking after, the youngest siblings and looking after the household and did everything for her to help her. And yet the relationship wasn't close. And I was like, okay, what did I, what was in her mind? I wanted to know. And it turned up into limiting beliefs, into money because of what was going on in my family when I was
Yeah.
little. And it started all, big cry. I had a big release, big emotions. And I was like, wow, this was absolutely crazy. And I thought like, I would never think about it, like, that it can happen because I learned a lot in that 1 hour session. I learned a lot about my relationship with mom, my relationship with money, therefore, from what
Yeah.
I learned there as a child, that there was never enough money in my childhood. See, and I can remember when I just left that building where the session was, and it was in the evening. So I closed the door behind me of that building and I was on the pavement. I started singing. Like, I can see clearly now the rain is gone. And I felt like a huge, not even, stone, a huge rock fell off my shoulders. And I
Yeah.
felt so light. And I was like, wow, if this can have such an impact in 1 hour, I want to learn more. I want to show other people. I want to show other people that they don't have to struggle in their life. I want to learn this. And then I found, the trainer, and I just got trained in it and in other modalities as well. And last year in NLP as well. And it's just something like this train is going absolutely beautifully, and I love it. I love teaching, I love showing people that they don't have to struggle as they do.
Wow, that was quite a story. Thank you. Thank you so much for
You're
sharing,
welcome.
Maria. That was really inspiring and just shows you really as well, like how the universe conspires to get us in the right place at the right time with the right people, and that it's all working out for us. And yeah, and that we can do things in a different way. We can take a different route that is not the route that is prescribed by the
Absolutely.
norm, by society, and take a different
Absolutely.
way, and that will lead us to great health and happiness. And yeah, that's really
And
inspiring.
yes, and maybe actually you can find, your life purpose, because I had
Yeah,
no idea about my life purpose at that time.
yeah,
I was just doing what everybody else was doing, and I just didn't even think about what is my life purpose. I was so busy with the life that I had no idea. And this actually, when I started learning EFT, I actually found this is my passion, and my
yeah,
passion is my purpose. So I found my life purpose in my illness, you see. So it's
yeah,
exactly as you said, as the universe conspires not against us, it always conspires for us. See,
mm,
only we need to see it the right way. So that's why I
yeah,
really love helping people to see what's happening in their life from the other perspective. Then they can say exactly as I did at the time, like, wow, I see, I want to learn more, and
yeah.
who knows what happens.
Exactly. And what a gift that was. So, something that could have been really very difficult, very depressing, actually turned out to be, the life purpose that you were seeking. It's
Absolutely,
so
absolutely.
good, so good. Thank you so much for sharing all of this goodness, Daria. It's been
Oh,
really,
thank you.
yeah, it's been really insightful and interesting and inspiring. Thank you so much. Where can people find you, Daria, if they want to find you online? Where can they find you?
Right. Yeah, they can either just go on my personal profile, Daria Ates, or they can just DM me with their question if they have got any particular question, or they
Mhm.
can join our Emotional Freedom Sanctuary for Entrepreneurs, where I go live every single morning with EFT session to just set us for the day in nice vibes. And if there is some demand, as it was now, about the anxiety demo, so I do this every single day, because this is something which I know from people who are telling me, who joining, that it
Yeah,
helps a lot. So
yeah,
I'm not going to stop. And I actually started it to just commit myself, because I was quite resisting going live, right?
yeah, yeah.
So I said myself, okay, so let's do this every single day and see what happens. and now we all enjoy it in the group. So this is
Yeah.
absolutely beautiful.
Amazing. What a gift you are giving people. It's just fantastic. Thank you so much. And when we finish this, Daria, make sure you pop all of your links in the comments, and then people can be sure to be able to find you easily.
Okay, will do. Thank you.
And thank you once again for
Thanks
being
a lot,
here
Tanya.
and
Thanks for
sharing
having
your
me.
gifts.
Thank you, and have a lovely day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye.